How's it going, people? So we are in the process of walking right into chaos right now. So we've got a good little, probably is about an hour of chatting away. I'm going to tell you some things. You can decide whether you believe me or whether you don't. I'll put as much proof as I can at the moment throughout the video, and you can also take this information, decide off your own, because I'm not saying everything I'm saying is going to be 100% down to a T, but there is a realization that one comes to, and it's realizing how many people are not awake to everything going on in the world. I've had conversations over the weekend about certain things. People have questioned me, right? And before we go any further, I want to say a big shout out to everybody that has complimented me on my first podcast. Um, I'm surprised at how many people have actually came and spoke to me after seeing it and like watching it all the way through and said good about this, or I didn't know about this, or whatever, and you know what I mean, or I agree with what you're saying. And I appreciate you people, because you people are the reason why I'm now doing a number two, and I'm going to continue to move forwards. So thank you for that. So what have I spoke about this weekend? A lot of people um, have questioned about tap water, right? We'll go down this route for now. And the reason why I don't drink it. And it's surprising how easy I adjusted to the transition from using it for everything to not using it at all. Well, I say it at all. There is limits on it, but ingesting wise, none. I do not drink tap water at all, and it's surprising how many people actually still do. Um, so I drink a spring water, a spring bottled water, and I use it for everything. Even when I go around people's houses, I've got friends that I go to their houses that store bottled water because I used to go around on the like I'd probably say weekly I would go around, and I would always take my own. But one day they said you don't need to bring your own because we've got bottles of water. And I goes, all right. I was like, what'd you do that for? And they were like, well, because every time you come round, like not always have you got a full bottle of water for yourself. So there is people around me, even family members, that if they're gonna, oh, do you want a drink? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll have a coffee. They know automatically that I don't drink tap water, and they've got bottled water stored for those situations. Now, why? Why is the question. Now, there are so many chemicals in tap water. So many. And people think that because we live in Britain, that our tap water is being fine for years and it's okay to drink because you don't get ill from it. You know, when you go to places like Spain, Magaluf, like Greece, and I'm just thinking of like holidays that I've been on, and you couldn't drink the tap water, you would always have to buy bottled water, right? That is what you should be doing in the UK, and you're oblivious to it because, and we are going to go down this rabbit hole, right? I'm going to talk some information, and it's going to go deep. So be prepared for this one. I didn't really want to do, but it's the way that I'm thinking. So I'm just going to go with it and I'm see how we go on. But first of all, fluoride. Fluoride is a chemical, and it was a chemical that was put into a lot of things actually that we were told was good for us. So anything that is advertised on the TV, I will never buy, never buy. And we'll go down the route of Colgate, right? Colgate's advertised on the telly. You've got that what's the one for gut for is it Oral B or something? Those types of products that are advertised on TV, right? Look on the back of your toothpaste and you will see that your toothpaste has sodium fluoride in it. Fluoride is told by the dentist, and even when I've been in the chemist, they've told me that, because I used to get bleeding gums, and they said you need toothpaste with fluoride because it's good for your teeth. And I had an argument with the guy in the chemist one day. I was goes, excuse me, because it was the first time I'd encountered somebody that had told me this, because like I'd never had the dentist tell me this, but when you look on the back of your toothpaste, you'll see that you've got sodium fluoride in your toothpaste. And there's people that have said that they've been told that it was good for the teeth. But one day I was in the chemist and a guy said to me, because I was on about me bleeding gums, I was like, I need some toothpaste that's going to sort me gums that are bleeding. And he said, well, you need this toothpaste. And I goes, well, this has got fluoride in it and I don't want to use fluoride. And he goes, but fluoride is good for your teeth. And I goes, where did you hear that? And he said, that is the truth. And I was like, no, it's not. I was like, and even if it is good for your teeth, it's not good for your body though. And we had this, well, he was having an argument. I was just stood there a bit in disbelief of him, what he was talking about. And I just looked at it. I said, mate, can I just get my stuff? And I'm going. So I went. And anyway, even if it is good for your teeth, it calcifies your pineal gland. And then it's a really small portion of your brain. And fluoride calcifies that. Now, the reason behind it is a raising of consciousness from a 3D to a 5D. And I like to use the term, I like to use this example as, you've seen the movie Matilda, right? And you know when she starts controlling things with her mind, she just points at things and that she's like, you, right? The possibility that we can actually do that is there. I don't know what the statistic, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's there. Because ancient civilizations back then will have been able to do it. They were a lot more advanced than what we were, what we are back then. They know stuff. But our brains haven't changed much since then. They have, but not by much. Now, our pineal gland is calcified because of tap water, toothpaste, certain foods, certain drinks, just general things of what you're putting in your body. Now, I also read a section of a study that was talking about how when a study is done on an Alzheimer's patient that's died, when they check the brain, the pineal gland is calcified. So a calcified pineal gland is more than likely that is the path for Alzheimer's. And if you've ever had like a parent or a grandparent, you know what the extent of that illness is. So there's a lot of things that calcify the pineal gland, and we're going to go down this. I'm going to take you on a little journey here for the next 50 minutes. I'm taking you on something. I'm going to spill some shit. So a calcified pineal gland because of tap water, but there's a lot of other chemicals in tap water. Think about how old our drainage system is. Like our all of the pipes that are underground right now. Think about how old they are, right? Think about how many times they actually dig the ground up to change them. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen them just completely shut a road off and be digging under people's houses to change the drains? I've never seen that. I have never seen that at all. And there will be products that would be so much better, but it costs an absolute fortune, so they're not going to do it, right? Now, people talk about, we'll go back to like ingesting, why I don't, and people say to me, yeah, but when you use tap water, if you boil it in a kettle, then it's fine because you're killing the chemicals. And I said, and my argument is that's not the case, because if that was the case, they wouldn't be putting fluoride in the water, because it's a chemical they cannot get rid of. They can't do anything with it, as far as I know. So they put it in the water because they know the effects of what it does, which is more control of the population. Because when your mind is foggy, like, do you ever wake up with brain fog? There's sometimes I still do, and I know, because that comes down to diet. But do you ever wake up just a proper foggy mind? And it comes down to your food, your water, your diet. But once your brain can think about more things, that's when you become a problem. The government don't want you to think. They want you to work and pay bills. They want you to be a good member of society. You go to work, you finish work, you pay your bills, you sit at home, you watch the propaganda that's on Netflix, or you watch the propaganda that we're putting on the ITV and BBC and all the other different news channels. And then once you've watched that, then you're going to watch some cartoon, or you're going to watch Coronation Street that is a scripted lifestyle, and you're getting into the idea of, oh, what happens next? Right, while I'm at work, oh, I'm going to gossip with the girls or the guys or whatever. Usually it's girls, but the girls will be like, oh, well, did you see on Coronation Street the other night? Oh, well, what do you think about such and such? She's going to kill her, or ooh. You know what I mean? You're not thinking about the bigger things that are going on in the world. You're too into watching Emmerdale or watching Coronation Street, being programmed to follow the narrative that they're going to push. Because there'll be things where, remember when Coronation Street back in the day, it was old women that were smoking cigarettes all the time and guys that were drinking in the pub. Whereas now, you probably hardly ever see anybody smoking, right? You might see one of the younger ones vaping. I don't know, I haven't seen it, but they're probably pushing that, because that's another thing we're going to get onto shortly in this video. They'll have the teenagers, the younger ones that are vaping and that, and then the parents will be, oh, well, I seen your daughter vaping. So, and then it feeds, they are literally feeding from EastEnders, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, things that are programming you to do that into your life. Because yous are focused on that, yous aren't watching what's going on. Because the only way that you can find out what is going on is by watching the news, which are telling you the things that they want you to hear, so you don't have a mind that's like, that thinks about things. You just see what they're telling you, and you go, okay, yeah, they're telling me the truth, because the news they're going around the world, they're finding the problems, they're telling us what the problems are, and then we're going to trust the government. Craziness. Absolute craziness. And so many people are still in that mindset. A lot of you might not be all the way deep in there, but some of you are still doing some of the things, and you're oblivious to it. You're oblivious to the things that, like music, right? And it comes down to nightclubbing as well. It blows my mind how many people are still going out on the drink. And it's the same people every week. I see the same faces every single week, and I'm like, why the fuck are yous all out again? You were only out last night, now you're out again tonight. It's a bank holiday, so you're making sure you get 2 days in. I remember what that life used to be like before 2020, before, you know what I mean? I don't need to say it, but before all of that, life was just that. It was simple. Because there wasn't that break in the Matrix. There wasn't that break where people went, hold on a second. Just time just completely stopped. And just looked around and went, what is about to go down? And for years, I've literally been watching it, and I was never aware of it up until, like, through the lockdown. And you just see the bullshit. You just see it all. But you also speak to people, and they're like, oh, I didn't know that. And I'm like, are you walking on the same earth as what I'm walking on? How are all of yous not seeing what I am seeing? I think it's craziness. But there's people like me that are going to tell you about the things that's going on, so you can be like, fuck now. He might be the one. He's walking that path, so I don't have to. But he's telling me what is going on, and I'm gonna do that, and I do that, and there's like, and I praise the people that watch my stuff and praise me for it, and say, mate, I learned something from you, or you helped me get through that. I've been doing videos for years, just like bits and bobs, like say if it was Instagram or Snapchat and stuff. But I've had people just being like, mate, I was in not a nice place, and thanks to your videos, you got me through it. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate you people. But anyway, where was I at? I'll tell you what I'll do. Right, I'm gonna show you some videos. Or do I? Do I show you some videos yet? That might be a bit later. Where was I at? Fluoride, food, Coronation Street, programming. Just turn your tellies off, right? If you've got a TV in the house, mate, turn it off. Turn it off, unplug it, and just don't watch telly. Like I can't even remember. I've got the telly there, right? But last time I watched TV, that is only plugged in because I had a couple of games of COD with the with the boys a couple of weeks ago. But the last time, the last time that I even sat and watched the telly, it's only if I go to people's houses and they've got the telly on. But then I sit and watch it, and I'm like, I'm just looking at them, and they're locked into it, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home now, and I just come home because I just don't. I am so off TV. I couldn't even probably sit down and watch a movie. I can't even remember the last time I watched a movie. I think it was on my laptop though. It's just turn your stuff off, right? Because it also comes down to teaching your kids what is going on, because you need to know what's going on for you to protect your kids from what is about to go on and what is already starting to happen. And there's a lot of you that don't even see it. So many of you don't see it. And you say, oh, well, I do see it, but what are you doing about it? Are you speaking to your kid on a night to tell your kid that what they're saying to you is not right? Or are you just saying, oh, how was your day at school? Oh, yeah, do you want some fish fingers tonight? Are you going out with your mates? All right, see you later then. You aren't even educating your own kids. Right, if you know about these things and you aren't teaching your kids about it, then what are you doing? But if you don't know about these things and you're also just allowing the system to educate your child when you know that the education shite anyway, because I've had better jobs than people that did better in school. I've had jobs. Some of the people I went to school with that actually did better in school have only just found a job now and have been left school like what, 8 years? What year are you now? 16, 15, 14? No, 10 years. Left school 10 years ago. But yeah, like because they've been to university, then they've gone to, or they've gone to college, then they've gone to university, or they've done however many years in university. Like I've I've done stuff, me, and I was rubbish in school. I just didn't focus. Nah, I enjoyed school to a point because I took the piss out of it. And I think that's the funny thing, because it's the people that aren't actually educational smart that are the smart ones in the world. Because I guarantee a lot of those people that were educated by the school system and did really well in school also ended up with their vaccines and also just don't see what's going on. It's people like me that aren't educationally. Like, what even is smart? Am I smart because that person tells me I'm smart, or am I smart because I know things? I'm not like the amount of. I'm not even going to say that any teachers ever turned around and said to me that I was going to be nothing, because like a lot of the teachers, right, all the way from primary school into the comprehensive, always seen something in me. They always gave me a chance and pushed them chances far because there was something about it. But once you realize that education isn't smart, but how many of you are actually teaching your kids this? Because I'm not saying don't tell your kids not to learn anything, but there's certain things that you know are right and wrong that you went through school. Like, how many times have you been told there's only one right answer? But how many times have you been in a situation where you could make two right answers? So how many of you are teaching your kids that not everything is because somebody else says? Crazy. You need to educate your own kids. Educate your family as well. My family hate me because I'm like, I just, it's like, have you ever seen the photo of saying when you sit down at the table and says, how's life? And you just go down the rabbit hole. Like, that's me. How's life been in that? I'm like, what? And then I just go on a ramble for a bit, like I do now. But yeah, fluoride. Stop drinking fluoride. Stop drinking tap water. Change your toothpaste. Buy a vegan toothpaste. You can get them off Amazon. And you can have it in your door the next day. So if you remember that you need it. But also body wash as well. Oh my God. Body wash. Let's go down this route for a bit. How many of you actually use body wash? Probably all of you. I was going to put my hand up. I don't use body wash. Why? I use a bar of soap. Do you know what chemicals are in your body wash? Do you know what your body wash is designed to do? Same with deodorant. Do you know what it's designed to do? It's designed to make you sweat more. So you go and buy more of that product. Somebody asked me this because I had the conversation about body wash yesterday, and I haven't used any deodorant since maybe 2021. Definitely 22, but maybe 21. I do not use deodorant at all. No spray, no roll on, nothing. And I have came to the realization that I don't sweat that much compared to what I used to when I was using deodorant. And even if I do smell, it's only for a few hours and then I'll have a shower. Like, so say if I'm at work and I'm sweating. But, and if I got really bad, which obviously doesn't happen, but if I got really bad, I'd probably just spray some deodorant on the outside of my coat just so there's a different smell. You know what I mean? But I don't smell. Why is that? Because their products are designed so they make you sweat more, so you go and buy more, so then you're spending more money, giving them more money, so then they can live a better life than what you're living. Go and buy a bar of soap. One, you'll realize how long it lasts compared to using body wash, right? Two, how many chemicals are in a bar of soap compared to there? Probably not that many. I don't know the ingredients to a bar of soap. But from experience, using soap compared to using body wash, I'll tell you, there was a lot better benefits using bars of soap than using body wash. I don't even like. Also, be careful on how long you shower for, or or bathe in a bath for, because the biggest organ of the body is your skin. So the longer that you sit in the tap water, the more your body is going to soak it up. So it's like drinking the tap water. You're ingesting that shit into your body through your skin. I mean, there's chlorine in tap water. How many times have you ever been to the swimming pool and you've got chlorine water in your mouth and you've drank, like you've swallowed it? Does it taste nice? But think of that on a massive scale. You know what I mean? You're still drinking it, it just doesn't taste as bad, but it's still in the water with all the other chemicals and parasites and everything else that's in that water. And you're still drinking tap water. And you think your little kettle that's boiling your water is getting rid of them chemicals? You just make me laugh sometimes, you know. Anyway, we'll not go. Because it's more informational. I want you to be informed. I'm not taking the piss. But I've had people that tell me, oh, it does taste bad, that water. And then still continue to drink it. Anyway, have you heard about Bill Gates breeding 30 million mosquitoes per week? 30 million mosquitoes. Now, why on earth does Bill Gates want to breed mosquitoes? Now, I saw something about some of the things that these mosquitoes might be carrying. We'll say might. Potentially could be another word to use. Potentially carrying. A replica. It's not the term that I want to use, but it's the word that I thought of. Or a similar virus to HIV. Now, I also saw a post that said the reason for these mosquitoes getting bred is to kill off other mosquitoes. The mosquitoes that are already in the world, the ones that do carry the diseases that we do know about. So maybe Bill Gates is just trying to protect us by breeding these mosquitoes that are gonna suck blood and carry germs, just like the ones that are already out, but are genetically modified and are gonna be stronger because they've got to kill off the other mosquitoes. So they are gonna be, you know what I mean? And then when these mosquitoes have killed off all the other mosquitoes, then these mosquitoes are going to do what these are doing. But I'll show you a video of these mosquitoes somewhere in America.
Okay, this is the craziest thing. I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. And I lived in Florida my entire life.
What? Those are all bugs.
Those are all bugs. I thought the restaurant was smoking. Those are all bugs. You can even see them flying, like, dude, you can't even tell on the video how many there are. There are millions and billions and trillions of bugs here right now. All of those lines, bugs. Oh my gosh. They're getting closer to me so you can start seeing them more. Oh, I cannot believe this. I've literally never seen anything like this in my entire life. How is this Ohio? It looks like it's pouring rain. It's literally not even raining.
So imagine seeing that many mosquitoes. Now, I think we're in the end of times, you know. Truthfully, I think we're in the end of times. The end of times is coming. From seeing things and reading things of biblical, like what is going to happen, we are in the middle of it. We're in the middle of. There was the horsemen, which we've potentially already seen one of them at the Paris Olympics, the white one. It also says that an army of locusts would be put on the earth. Speaking like, it's not the exact term that was spoken by, but it was something like that. But I mean, locusts. We've now got hundreds of millions of mosquitoes that are going to be buzzing around. You know what I mean? That are going to carry germs and parasites and whatever else they carry and infect everybody. But we first had the, the in the arm 21 period, that thing that everyone was, oh no, you've got to get that. But now you don't have to get that. So we've now seen that Pfizer, there's a case going on with Pfizer about blood clots due to them. So we knew that they didn't work. Then we knew that they were going to be dangerous, and they were probably going to kill people. And that is happening now. Then we've got war going on. We've got Ukraine and Russia, where people are unfortunately dying. We've got an immigration problem across the world, like, well, on this side of the world that's going on. It's not just the UK, it's France, it's Germany, it's America, it's everywhere other than Poland, because Poland have got the red screwed on and they're not letting anybody in.
But there's a side to you that I never knew all the things you say. They were never true in the games you play. You would always win. But I said fire.
Nah, there's Russia. There's Afghanistan or Pakistan kicking off in Japan. So it's not just on our side that's going on. They have literally just knocked on these doors of these countries and said, "Want a better life over here? We're not going to do anything. Don't worry about it. Well, don't worry about it. If you want to leave your country, you go find somewhere else. Go on, get yourself away." And they've just gone, all right. So you're not going to do anything to us, no? Nah. So we can cross this border here and just go that way, yeah? Yeah. All right. See you later. Can I take this knife with me as well, yeah? Yeah, that's fine. All right. See you later then. And they just trek over that way. And they're just running through everybody.
Move back.
Think about how many people are unfortunately losing lives due to the past 4 years right now. You know what I mean? Through the first one, 21, 22, 23. There's certain things going on where people are losing lives, right? But we've also got this one now. I've lost where I was. We're going to have to recycle this a second because we need to go back to tap water, and the reason why you shouldn't be drinking it out also. So, women have the pill, right? You know, the estrogen pill. Women, their body doesn't take all of that. They normally end up going to the toilet, letting it out into the water stream. That goes into the water, gets recirculated back at whatever, gets put back in our water and you're drinking it. Did you know that the water plantation places don't filter out estrogen out of the water? So as the water's getting recycled, that estrogen is going back into the tap water that you men are drinking. So that's why you're all going on gay and soft and weird.
Just type in Pentagon tested gay bomb on Iraq. They didn't consider using it. They've used it on our troops. In Vietnam, they'd spray PCP on the troops, Jacob's Ladder. You think PCP, some horse tranquilizer, something? They got stuff that'll whack your brain permanently. Brain chips in the troops. They give the troops special vaccines that are really nanotech that already re-engineer their brains. Yeah, there it is, the gay bomb. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what they're... What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I am like, oh, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
What else is going to cause depopulation here? War, vaccines, mosquitoes, immigration, illegal immigration, for violence, gay pride, and that community. We'll leave it there for now. All of these things are going to cause mass extinction of the British population, of the world. Sorry. And you might go, oh no, everything's going to be fine. Everything could be fine, but you need God for that. And that's not something that you just want to talk about, is it? Because you just believe the government's going to help you, even though the government is destroying our countries and taking yous all for mugs. And you're just going to say, no, the government will change. Yeah, the government's going to change, mate. The government's not changing nothing, mate. They're only going to change it. That's going to benefit them. It ain't going to benefit you. So they're literally bringing an absolute army of men from a different country that have had a shit life elsewhere, that have been bombed, shot, and beheaded in the street. And they're just coming over and they can have food, water, women, and yeah, the government has allowed them to come here. They're inviting them. They've probably been over there on flights and said, mate, had a big festival for them and said, yous are all welcome on our side of the world. Yous are all welcome on our side of the world. We want you there. The women want you there.
Yeah.
Are you filming her?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Because she's a human being and you shouldn't be.
So why
filming
not?
people.
I'm a human being too. I can.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be filming without people without their
Okay, you can
consent.
call the police or whatsoever.
That is very unethical. You're
Okay.
a horrible person.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
And how are we going to defend this? How is the West going to defend what's going on here? Because you've got estrogen in the water that men are all drinking, which is making it's female hormones. You know what I mean? You've got gay pride and trans and all the other infection that's on TikTok and stuff that are promoting that for women to be doing whatever they're doing to their bodies and cutting breasts off, and then the men are cutting their sausage off and not going to be able to ever reproduce again. So there's another end of the line. Vaccines, blood clots, end of the line. War, end of the line. You're literally coming to the final end of life itself as what we are. The eternal life that Jesus Christ offers when following Christ and reading the Bible is the only life worth living. Because eternal life in a good place would be so much better than having an eternal life here with the chaos once everything's done. So Now I'm going to show you some videos of just some of the chaos going on in it's the UK, but it's also in the world.
Last hour, they've given us an update that they've made 38 arrests and recovered 4 knives. And they said a man believed to be in his 20s has been stabbed. His injuries are not life-threatening. But overall, it's been a really peaceful and enjoyable day for people.
There's a video of a little girl on a tram in Portugal. It's just absolute chaos. But there's people, right? There's people that are literally inviting these, and it's people that are sat watching tellies. It's the people that got the vaccine. It's the people that support gay pride. It's the people that are happy for your child to not know what it is, whether it's a boy or a girl, or it's a it or a microwave or a bottle of deodorant or whatever. I don't even know.
Excuse us.
How old is she?
They are 15 months old. We actually use they, them pronouns. We're great until they tell us who they are. That's why you were like, who, what?
Oh, wow. Okay, so
They.
they.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Well, enjoy the Pride Parade.
Did you say thank you? Thank you.
We are pulling apart this idea of sex, which is related to genitals, and gender, which is related to how you move in the world. So what you wear, how you share your identity with other people, all of those things are related to gender.
There's so many different genders now. I have no care to know any of them, other than male and female. There's so many different infections going on in the world right now that, and here's the next one, vaping. Oh, the amount of people that it really irritates me when I speak to people that are vaping, you know, honestly, because so many people believe that they're doing good for themselves. I smoke, right? I smoke cigarettes. I have done for years. I sometimes stop. I don't do it all the time. It's only when I'm socializing. I know I am affecting my body with smoking. I also know that it's nowhere near as bad as vaping. And people go, oh no, it's all right. You tell me what chemicals are in them things. Because you just can't tell me at all. Nah. And the fact of that it tastes like bubblegum or strawberry or orange or ice blast or whatever all these stupid names are for chemicals that you're sucking on however many hundreds of times a day. And nightclubs as well are also allowing people to vape in the club. So people are sitting at home because it doesn't smell bad. So they're vaping in the living room, vaping in the bedroom, vaping in the bathroom, whatever it may be, because it doesn't smell. So I'm doing it a bit more. Then they're going out in a nightclub. They'll be sitting in the car, in a taxi. How many taxis can you smoke a cigarette in? None. How many can you vape in? Or how many can you get away with vaping in? Probably a lot more. So you'd be vaping in a taxi. You'd be vaping in restaurants. You'd be vaping while you're out on the drink. You'd be going outside and vaping. You'd be inside and vaping. You're sucking on them things constantly. And you think and the delusional thing about it all is, you all think you aren't doing bad to your body. And if you do think you're doing bad, You don't realize how bad you're actually doing it. So there's another end of the line, because that's going to massively mess your lungs up and your health. And did you also know that there was a study done where there was one man that vaped that was on this study, and there was a man that didn't vape that was on the study, and both of them had their sperm tested. The man who didn't vape, his sperm was swimming fine. The man who vaped, his sperm wasn't moving. There's another end of the line. That's going to be my new thing now. Bam, end of the line. Done. No more. No more breeding for men, because they're drinking estrogen water, and they're vaping and cutting their sperm off, and yep. But it also affects women as well, because women aren't producing eggs, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but either way, a woman can't make a child by herself. So even if I'm wrong about the woman, I know that I'm right about the man. So you need to just wake up on all this. Wake up, see the world for what it is. Next thing, we'll go back to the pineal gland. Do you believe that when you look outside in the UK, right, when you look outside and there's a blanket of clouds, do you think that's nature? Or is it possibly somebody manipulating the weather? Maybe it's something to do with some aeroplanes and certain things in the sky that they're releasing that are causing your frequency to stay low. So you aren't thinking, you're just staying dumb. It isn't, there is, nah. Nobody could but like make me think that clouds that float across the sky just decide to get to the UK and go, let's all just clump up here and we'll just hover over this island for a bit. And it'll be days. Like, it's never the nights. The nights are fine, because you can go out in the middle of the night and you'll see breaks in the clouds, right? As soon as you wake up the next day, you can look outside and it's just a blanket of clouds. Now, am I just a conspiracy theorist? Or is something going on with the weather? Because I'm sure sunlight is good for people's brain, like for mind, makes you feel happy. But if there's no sun, you're just going to be miserable, aren't you? You're not going to be happy. You'd be all, yeah, whatever. Go on through my day. Not saying every day is cloudy, but when it is, it just isn't right. And there's been a couple of times as well that when it has been really cloudy, I'd definitely say twice in the past couple of years, definitely. But there has been a monstrosity of an aeroplane that has gone over my house. Like, you know, something really low. You know when you can tell something's really low and it's really big? Well, this aeroplane that went over my house, it must have, I can't even imagine size, but this thing was huge. And I just went, what? And I wanted to see it, but I couldn't, because there was a blanket of clouds above my house. And it's as far as the eye can see. They used to do smoke screens in the war, where an aeroplane would fly across the ocean and drop some type of chemical that would create a smoke screen that would block the enemy seeing our ships. And it wasn't, I believe it just wasn't us. There was other people that potentially also did that as well. But if they can do that like that back then, what are they doing now? Let's have a look and see what's on Twitter at the moment. What else can I talk about? There is certain people as well that are speaking out about a lot of things. Don't be so quick to dismiss them and call them worse than whatever. They might be running for presidency in a different country, such as America or somewhere. I don't know. There might also be, I don't know, maybe brothers that live in Romania that are speaking out about a lot of things that are being labelled as, is the word misogynistic or human trafficker or whatever the terms are. I'm not 100% on what the terms are with certain things. There might also be a guy that lives in the UK who could be a reporter that's maybe dealing with a lot of pressure that's going on in the world about some of the things he's speaking about the people he's getting on his side, about being proud to be British. Any of these types of people that are speaking and are speaking against what you believe, if you're in the system where you're not seeing all these things that I'm speaking about, don't be too quick to go against what they're saying. Think about why they're wanting to represent, or they're talking about the things that they are. Because we're not stupid. You know what I mean? You people that are watching this now are not stupid people. Or if yous are, yous don't have to be. Because you've just had the wool pulled over your eyes gradually for so long that yous are now speaking in a way that you would never have spoke when we were younger. Because you believed in a lot of the things that I'm speaking about. If you knew about that stuff back then, you would have probably been like, yeah, I believe in that. Whereas since you've been drip fed so much propaganda for so long and they've turned up the volume on it, this is the spiritual warfare that we are in right now. It's not only a war with the government, with other countries, with people coming in, whatever it may be. There is a spiritual warfare going on. It comes down to the music that you're listening to. It comes down to the things that you're watching on your telly, the people that you're speaking to, what you're speaking about. You need to make sure that you just wipe a lot of this stuff out. I don't listen to any music that is put on from the radio. I go into people's houses and they've got the radio on. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, well, it's just a bit of background music. And I'm like, you have no idea the programming that's going on a daily basis, that you're just, you put that radio on and listen to music when you're driving to work or when you're in the house or whatever you may be, and you're just on autopilot. If you can't be in silence, then you can't understand your mind. And all that is happening is your mind is being controlled by somebody else, because you're not controlling it. Because you can't do stuff in silence. I can sit down on my couch. I could sit here. No noise, nothing on, no distractions, in silence. And just think. And there's so many people that cannot do that. And they go, oh no, well, it's because I've got ADHD and I've got this and I've got that. There's another one. ADHD. So many people play on this, and it's irritating that so many people play on, oh, I've got ADHD, that's the reason why I go on like a dickhead. It absolutely irritates me so much, because one, even when parents go, oh, my kid's got ADHD, and I'm just like, one, how much sugar are you feeding that child? How much fizzy pop is that child getting? How much has that child sat on his phone or on the iPad or on the computer or in front of the telly? How long is he getting where he's given himself time to go from his phone to bed? Is he not he, but is this child taking the phone to bed, male or female? Are they sitting up on it all night? Are they, like, you know what I mean? Are they having bedtime snacks where they're having sugar before bed? Honestly, and then adults play on it for them to, oh well, yeah, I'm sorry mate, I'm a bit of a dickhead. No mate, you're a dickhead. You're not just a bit of a dickhead, you're a dickhead. And you're using some excuse in the way of the reason why you're being a dickhead so you can justify what you're doing. And it's not the case, mate. It's not the case at all. What you need to do is stop being a dickhead, pull your finger out, look at your own life and go, right, I need to change something about myself, because I don't need to sit and hide behind a word that somebody else is telling me that I've got. Do you know how many people tell me that I've got ADHD? Honestly. They're like, oh, you've definitely got ADHD, you, because I do stuff in certain ways. And they're like, you've got ADHD. I'm like, mate, I don't care whether I do or don't. I was like, one, I ain't going to ever go find out whether I've got it anyway. And two, I'm not going to use it as an excuse. I'm not going to sit behind that and say, oh, yeah, well, I've got this, so this is the reason why I'm like this. Mate, fuck off. You've got your own life, right? You're in control of your own life, right? You are in control of everything that you do, good and bad. I am the same as well. There is things that I do that I know that I do that I shouldn't do or that I do. I'm not going to sit and hide behind some word that you say is the reason why I go on the way that I do. Because people just, and this is the reason why the government is allowing all of those people to come over here, because there's people like you that are entitled to all of this, that get free healthcare, that are getting free prescriptions, that are getting this, that are getting this, that are getting this, where they're going, why am I spending all this money on this person that's doing absolutely jack when I can have all these people come over here that have no idea, and I'm just going to tell them what to do, and they're going to listen. They're probably not going to listen, but that's what the government think they're going to do. And if not, they'll probably just wipe them all out anyway. Because eventually they'll get to the point where they'll go, oh no, we've had a lot of our population that have unfortunately lost their lives. So now we're going to have to bring in the army, and the army will just wipe them out. Take them all out. But by that point, you've lost that much of the population. You really need to wake up, all of you people. Honestly, you really need to wake up. Pull your finger out, right? I'm giving you the information. I am telling you this stuff. I could sit down and I was like, do you know, right? I'll tell you the truth. You might have realized this, but you might not have. But this is just the type of mindset I can go in. I've just had a problem with my camera. My camera had a problem for probably 10, 15 minutes. And look, I've turned the volume back up because I've just gotten straight back into what I was talking about. I had to just stop and fiddle around and sort the problem out. But I sorted the problem out. I'm back on and I'm chatting away. Because I'm here to provide the information. And I can sit and I can talk for hours. Not 4 hours, but for hours. About these things. I think it's fun to know these things. It's a part of life. If you just go through life and you just like are locked in that little cage of life, God bless you. And I hope you enjoy what is going to happen, and if that's the life that you want to live, by all means. I know that there's an enjoyment from that. There is an enjoyment from just being in a routine because you're comfortable, but there's no success in the comfort zone. Nothing good comes from just being the same old guy. I was trying to think of, like how you've got like the terms Billy No Mates, and like I was trying to think of something like that, but I couldn't think of one. Don't think there was anything else that I want to discuss, to be honest. I think I've maybe spoke about enough and rambled a bit. There's a lot of things that are going on right now. There's a lot of things to come, and there's a lot of things that you don't know about what's happened, what is happening, and what's to come. So I hope you get some information out of this. I hope you do change your life. I'll kick this one in the nuts here. If you're out of shape, get in shape. If you're eating unhealthy, eat better. If you're drinking tap water, stop drinking tap water. Drink water, bottled water. Yes, I know that there's a problem where you've got microplastics in bottled water, but you have no idea what's in tap water. I'd rather drink plastics than drink what yous are drinking. So think about that. But you can also get a filter as well, filter that stuff out. There's plenty of ways to do things. Also, stop going out on the drink. Stop consuming alcohol. There's a reason why spirits are called spirits. How many times have you gone out on the drink with somebody who you think is a sound person to be around, and they go out on the drink, they get drunk, and they become absolute lunatics on the drink? Why do you think that is? Spirits are called spirits because a spirit possesses the body. It's not a joke. It happens. It is. It's real. Spirits are everywhere. They're not just in a haunted house. They attach themselves to objects. They attach themselves to music. Because there's certain things going on in the music industry that you don't know about. You need to just be more aware of everything going on, because you're being programmed. Some people don't mind it. Some people don't know about it. Some people already know about it. I just want to let you all know, though, truthfully, from myself, I'm good, you know. I'm happy with where my life is. It's a good thing. I don't have, I'm not in the upper echelons of the life, but I'm not on the bottom either. I'm sound, mate. I'm of good mind and body. You know what I mean? I train, I meditate, I pray. I was about to say comfortable there. I'm not comfortable. You cannot live a comfortable life. But yeah, I'll put this message out just so you know that I am of sound mind, body, and spirit, and I have no intentions of ending my life or my life being ended. I've got no reason for that. I'm healthy. I eat well. My mind as well. I just wanted you to know that. Just in case. Because you never know what the world can present to you. You never really know, because there is certain things going on out there where they don't want people to know about these things. And sometimes things happen to the people that are speaking about the things that are going on. I'm not blind to that. I know what can happen. So on that note, I wish you all well. I wish you all good health. And I'll see you on the next podcast.